Hi again, folks. Joe Roderick, Brenden Schaeffer with you after it's 10 o'clock right now, so 9 hours apart from the last time that you saw our two faces talking baseball. This time coming your way after a Cardinal postgame show. Sarah Daly under the weather tonight, so Brenden jumping on and filling in for her as he's double screening it tonight between college football and Cardinal baseball. Degenerate on a Friday night of college football or watching the Cardinals in late September. I don't know what's worse for you right now.
That's why you have two TVs in the basement. That's really all I can say about it. And I did, by the way, because our friend Aaron, he likes to say I don't get angry. But if you notice, the background has changed in the past 9 hours because the Cardinal hat behind me has been flipped upside down. So that shows it right there that I don't stand for this. I don't stand for what we're seeing. The birds
I mean, is
tonight.
that like a flag upside down? Like, is the Schaeffer household under duress because of
The Cardinals are under duress.
It
And I wanted
doesn't
Aaron to
matter
know.
anymore. It doesn't
No, it
matter.
does. I'm angry. Aaron
I
wants me to be angry.
again, like watching the game, watching the Pallante start in that third inning. He goes out there, he walks three guys. He only gives up one hit in the inning. They score 4 runs. And you just kind of, this is like, that was when I got home tonight. I get home to see that third inning and I look at it and I watch it and I go, oh, okay. Like, just zero emotion. They have stripped away all emotion from me when it comes
Yeah.
to their play this year. Like, I don't even think it was not like this back in 23. In 23, I just kind of was like, man, this sucks. Like, hope it gets better next year. Like,
They
I
were
was
so
not.
bad in 23. I mean, they're not even, well, they might get to a point where they're almost as bad, but they're going to win more. I mean, they've already won more
That'd be
games than they
worse
did in
if they did right
23.
now because, I mean, technically, they're getting healthier. We saw John King return. We saw Brendan Donovan return. Nolan Arenado is going to be at Busch next week. I mean, it's,
Catch the fever.
This team is getting healthier. So if it gets worse, then, oh boy, that's that's not going to
But
be
you know
good.
what? You didn't name is very many pitchers in that little diatribe. Like Andre Pallante, today we did the 365 show, and you mentioned sort of just not feeling a desire to really see what Pallante has in store for us in the remainder of the season, because in your mind, he's already painted into a rotation spot for next year. And I pushed back a little bit saying, I don't know, man, if he's making like $3 million through ARB, what do the Cardinals do? How do they want to allocate the money? I mean, they're going to have to get more from Andre Pallante. And I wonder if, like, I don't know if there's a decision coming, like a non-tender, but again, $3 million, that's more than they spent in their entire free agency last offseason. So forgive me if I look at that number and say that it's not a foregone conclusion. Now, is Chaim Bloom going to be authorized to spend a little bit of money to address the starting pitching? Beyond that, I should hope that he will be, because otherwise you're running it back with a team that's got some pieces and parts, but it's nowhere close to being what the Milwaukee Brewers are there on the other side. It's just not, it's just not tenable at this point in the NL Central. But Jeremy liked a nice throw by Jordan Walker. Yeah, it ended up in the dugout, but that really wasn't his fault. That was a positive to take away. That was a positive. By the way, and I know I kind of started in on Aaron. I think I should invite Aaron to meet me in Temecula. For anybody who knows the old reference, there was like an argument about NBA that happened on Twitter, I don't know, 15 years ago. And famously, it was like on Christmas Day. And the dude said, I'll meet you in Temecula. I guess it's a town in California. And he drove there and was like, where are you? And the other guy's like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to meet you in Temecula. Anyway, Aaron, meet me in Temecula. We've been flirting around this all year. I'm ready to kick your ass. No, I don't know. Is that angry enough? I just don't know. I'm with you, Joe. I don't know how we're supposed to.
I'm bringing Jeremy Hodges' comment back up here just because
Yeah,
I would like to
keep it up there.
know. I would like to know, like, is this sarcasm here? Because anybody that watched the game and it was a good throw by Jordan. I mean, Jordan Walker threw it right on the money. I mean, he hit a guy diving in head first to home plate, hit him in the helmet at home. Like, what the, I mean, That's just bad
Look,
luck.
you said anybody who watched the game knows it was a good throw. I didn't even watch the game, and I know it was a good throw. So what are we doing here? I mean, come on. It was a good throw. It was.
This is. I mean, again, people are piling in on Pallante. Is Jason Pallante's ERA? Yeah, it has. And again, what do you like? This is my point with it. Like, you're saying his arbitration number is $3 million. You're saying that next year he's going to get
Yes.
$3 million.
Ish.
And
Yeah.
you're saying we in this time, you and I, in our great prep work that we've done, God, we have producers, we have young people here at STL Sports Central that we could have do this work for us
That's
and
okay.
find us free agents in next year's season. I should
They're
have
busy.
Grant on this weekend, and if we were to do that, I'm gonna have Hunter write an article about it for STLSportsCentral.com.
There we go. Fired up.
If you look at the free agency, okay, like maybe there is a guy out there for three, maybe there's a guy coming off an injury, maybe there is a pitcher that you kind of look at and you go, okay, well, he sucked for the last 2 years, but he was good 4 years ago. Maybe we can catch lightning in a bottle. Okay, if that's what you're gonna do, then I guess, I mean, yeah, sure, that's one way to go. But who right now, again, and the point I made this morning, Michaelis is gone. Michaelis is not here next
Correct.
year. So
Yes.
Pallante, I say Pallante has a spot in the top 5 because right now he's number 4. So
Yes,
you
he
need
does,
to find me
but
2 people that are better than him. And right now in AAA, there ain't shit.
no, they don't have it in AAA, but I think you have to. I think if Heimblum's coming in, you have to do something to address the starting pitching to give it a little bit more of a cushion. Or fans, I mean, you thought attendance was bad this year. If you do another off season like that, fans are gonna be like, why would we even bother? And I just don't think the DeWitts want that. Like, I know that there's some of it that's just unavoidable until they really get the foundation rolling again. And then they can feel like, okay, now we're supplementing with free agency to make the team good. But you can spend the Maton money on starting pitchers 3 or 4 times, and now you've got at least a bunch of bodies to bring to spring, and maybe 1 or 2 of them is a diamond in the rough that you get away with it, and it's Jose Quintana, and now now you have a tenable rotation spot to be held down. My thing with the Pallante is, like, I don't know for sure that they're going to do that, and they're going to spend that additional money, but also, what if they go even further in the other direction? And this is not something happy to think about, but if they're like $3 million is too much to spend for that, we're just going to do nothing. And like, we're not really going to spend any money to try and make it better. It's just like whatever the internal options are, they're going to have to eat it. Like, that's where you really do start talking about just full scale rebuilding. If they're not, trying enough to make sure that they've got a tenable 1 through 5 in their rotation. And I am not of the mind that it is a guarantee that Sonny Gray is here next year. Because if there's interest in him and you're trying to do it on the cheap, I simultaneously think it makes sense to trade Sonny Gray, but I also don't want to give the Cardinals the out to be allowed to do that because it'll make their team worse if they don't then turn around and spend some money. And I'm not sure that they're going to. And so it's kind of like this wait and see mode until we really get an idea for what it looks like. And the starting pitching, man, that's why you can't even get angry anymore because they don't have enough starting pitching at this point. And I don't know, like, that's not changing between now and the end of September. Does it change in November? That would be the reason to start to think about 2026 being a possible turnaround year. But it's going to have to come from a commitment by ownership and the new front office to do it.
So Sport Track, you can sporttrack.com, SPOTRAC, Spotrack, whatever.
I think it's Spot Track or Spotrack.
If you want to know money or contract deals, that's your website, and I'm sure many of our listeners are familiar with this when it comes to that. If you click on it and you look at 2026 free agents and more specifically pitchers, it will tell you right now what their market value is. For these pitchers, you have to scroll a long way down to get to the $3 million mark. In fact, here, I will just start right here. Here is the first starting pitcher that is around $3 million in market value for next year. Germain Marquez of the Colorado Rockies.
German Marquez, I believe.
German. Yeah, that's That's who it is. Jose Quintana listed at $3.3 million
I'll
market
take
value
him.
for next year. That I'll take.
If
Okay,
that's the
fine. I'll
bucket we're
take that.
talking about.
Jordan Montgomery, $2.6 million. Should we bring back Jose Quintana and Jordan Montgomery, your two starters for your last two playoff games?
I mean, I don't think the Montgomery one's crazy either. That, as much as we would look at it and go, "Are you joking?" That's the answer.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that those guys are going to be locked and loaded and like great pitchers if you signed them. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, look at Ryan's comment here. He points out about Pallante, $3 million would be the projection for a negative WAR player. Are we sure we can't find someone even WAR for that price? Like just like replacement level player, right? And my point is, yes, you should be able to do that, which is why I am not counting it as a guarantee that Pallante is A, in the starting five as you get to February, but B, even in the organization, because he could be non-tendered where they say, we're not going to ARB over for a guy to pay $3 million. But like, if you do take that step with Pallante, because there is a world in which he goes somewhere, gets it fixed next year, and he's more like what he was in 2024, which was a solid contributor. If you decide we're going to haggle or not accept that $3 million, I hope you're doing it because you're saying his production wasn't good enough. We're going to go out and get guys at a similar price point that we think can be better. And then I'm saying, great. Like Chaim Bloom is coming in and doing things, and he's got that permission from ownership to spend. I'm not talking about signing a guy for a multi-year contract at $10 million a year. I'm talking about sign one guy for $1 million, or excuse me, 1 year, $4 million. Sign another guy for 1 year, $3.5 million. Sign a third guy for 2 years, $7 million. Like
one guy that is
sitting
here, one guy where his market value is $3.5 million. Left-handed pitcher by the name of Steven Matz is also a free agent. So you could just get the whole band back together of left-handed pitchers for the Cardinals all around that three. You could get those three guys and spend $10 million this offseason, which would be $8 million more than they spent last offseason.
And hey, Ryan Helsley might be about $3 million the way it's going lately. I don't know what's going to happen there. I actually do think they should try to sign Helsley if he's ending up with a 1-year contract, because for whatever reason he was able to do pretty okay here, even though he had some underlying concerns. It didn't really manifest until he went to New York, and that has been. I feel bad for the guy because all these years of trying to stay healthy to get to free agency, he hasn't been on the injured list, but his performance is tanked, and now it's like, who's paying him? You know, it's a bad deal.
I will say this. I question how they come up with the formula to decide what the annual market value of these pitchers are, because coming in at about $8.7 million are both Miles Mikolas and Eric Fetty.
So Miles Mikolas, there's another name. If you're talking about
that's $8 million, that's too much. That's too much, Brendan. That's too much money.
I actually think you just need to be able to move forward at some point. And like, could somebody pay Miles Mikolas $3 million next year to like eat 160 innings? Yes. It can't be the Cardinals. Like, you just have to change enough things. You could have the same record. It just needs to be new human beings. And that to me would be a step in the right direction as the fans see it. I'm trying to see it through the lens of how the Cardinals fans might view it. They just want to see something different. Show us that you tried, right? Show people that you said, look, we went out here and we signed a few guys. Yes, it's bargain bin stuff. Chaim Bloom will be smarter than to say low-hanging fruit, right? He'll come up with another phrase to describe the approach, and fans will eat it up, and they'll have a chance. But that's my thing with the Pallante. People have been kind of harping on that. I don't think you can just say, well, Pallante, he's the best they've got. The rules of engagement don't have to be what they've been in recent history for the Cardinals. And I like Andre Pallante. I think it makes sense because again, it's not my money, and I don't want to let ownership off the hook for not spending. I think it would be a shame to non-tender Pallante. I think you should bring him back. He should be your number 7 going into camp, though. You should sign 2 guys more expensive than him for $5 million apiece. I'm not asking a lot, but give yourself that opportunity that hey, Pallante, we're going to give you your $3 million because of what you did for us last year, in the hopes that we can get that back from you. And maybe that's not money well spent, but it shows a willingness by ownership to like, dude, they've spent plenty of bad money over the years. Pallante has a chance to maybe get back to what he was. He's not there right now. He's not close, but identify why is he not performing like he did in 2024. And that's worth $3 million to me. And Nick, be more specific with this. What does Bernie disagree with? Because I don't think I've said anything that's worth disagreeing with. I haven't said that Pallante should be in your starting five. I want you to specifically tell me what it is, because I think you're going to be mistaken. I'm pretty sure you're going to be mistaken. And if not, there's going to be a line of delineation where I can articulate why I would be on a different page than Bernie about something. Andre Pallante, it's okay to bring him back. You cannot bring him back and say he's our number 5. I think you should at least invite additional competition that you spend for. And if you waste $3 million because Pallante doesn't bring it back, give him his money and send him on his way next year. But be willing to do some things and allocate some resources to give yourself the best possible chance to put 5 together.
I will say that
right now he's not good enough to pitch in the majors, but
he will.
That's
I absolutely think he's going to. Last few outings out, 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 1 earned run. Miles Mikolas, I think, will try very, very hard to catch on with the Marlins, the Nationals, the
Marlins would be. Yeah, Marlins would make a lot of sense. It would.
Yeah,
honestly.
Because ever since he has come back from pitching over in Asia, he has been in with the Cardinals and has been able to train and live in Jupiter all off season where he's from. And I would guess that Miles Mikolas at this point in his career probably doesn't want to have to change that. And I would think would try to jump on with a team that allows him to stay very close to Jupiter.
Excuse me, but we have more important news to talk about than Miles Mikolas. We do have news, if you're willing. Jeff Jones reporting that Masyn Winn is being shut down, which is
really
duh. His season is over. Marmol said he wasn't recovering well enough, so they made the call. So JC will handle short over the remaining 14 games, which is also to say no JJ Weatherholt. So I think that closes the book on the JJ thing. If I had to guess, there's no chance we see him. Now, maybe Mo makes a different call, but from what I understand, Mo is also in Milwaukee and was there as part of these pregame conversations were happening with Masyn Winn being scratched. I texted you, Joe, that I was going to rant about Masyn Winn today on the show, and you're like, why? He didn't even play. And that was kind of going to be my point, where how are we still doing this with a guy who's got a torn meniscus? I know he wants to win the Gold Glove, and he deserves it, and I hope he wins it. But if he can't go today, and it looks like I don't have to rant because the Cardinals are doing the decision of shutting him down. Whether he wanted to or not, the team has to make that call. My worry too for Winn, if they kept this going, is torn meniscus. Yeah, you can get the surgery. A lot of people are going, yeah, I had arthritis at 35 because I had the torn meniscus for too long. To risk anything long term with Masyn Winn, you cannot do it. And so I'm glad they're shutting him down. I got it for a while, but it got a bit ridiculous at the end. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming Masyn Winn. The Cardinals probably could have stepped in a little sooner. Look out for the guy's long-term future, but I hope he wins that Gold Glove because he deserves it.
As a 2-time torn meniscus survivor, I can tell you that it is it's something he can overcome.
Yeah, but shouldn't he just go ahead and get the surgery and stop playing Major League Baseball?
For the season? So with the meniscus,
yes,
there's two different. So with the meniscus, it's one of those. There's two different ways to look at it. No, I'm just saying it depends on what he needs for this. If it depends on what they're going to do with it. If they remove the meniscus, just straight up say, hey, we're removing it. For that, I mean, that's a 6-week recovery. So and if you do get it repaired, your knee is locked for a while, and you have a long-term recovery from that. So if they're going to go all in on it, repair it, make it as strong as possible, and hope that it holds up for the rest of the season. I know you wanted to rant about it. I know you wanted to rant about it probably because it's just kind of leaves the team in a state of limbo with everything. I will say I think it was very important to the club. I think it was very important to Masyn Winn to get him that Gold Glove, and I think he wanted to earn it by playing a full season. And by basically being out the entire final month of the season, that does open the door for him to not get the Gold Glove, and I think that's what the Cardinals are trying to avoid.
Yes, I don't think any of that all feels like kind of. Yeah, we knew all that part,
right? And I'm just saying, I get it. So that's why I wouldn't. I know you're ranting about it. That's why I wouldn't.
No, I didn't. I already told you weren't listening. I was gonna rant about it, but they just shut him down, so I don't have to.
Right. I know.
It was getting to the point where it was gonna be, and again, they have to do whatever repair is necessary to make him the strongest for the next decade. It's not really about this. The season's over. There's 14 games left. So there's not a conversation about like, let's do the shorter thing. It's done. So there's no rant to be had now. That's what I was saying, is the fact that they just need to get in his way and say, if it's every day and the pain's too much and you're not able to recover and play, we just have to cut it off. Not the meniscus. We just have to call it good for Masyn Winn's season. But to your point, he played a couple weeks basically, or a week plus in September. Hopefully that's enough to get him the Gold Glove, which he deserves. Like,
Yes.
I have no problem with him going after the individual accolade. He talked about it in a team sense, which is right and everything he should be doing. But we'll be real, like the Gold Glove had to be a huge motivator here. And I think that's right. It absolutely was a reasonable thing for him to want to achieve because he deserves to win the award. But I do think that, like, I know they said it wasn't going to get any worse. I don't know if I 100% believe that with what a lot of people are saying about meniscus. And like, if you start talking about arthritis, the kid's 23 years old.
That's if it's removed. That's
develop,
if it's removed. Yeah.
Right. So I think they're going to do whatever it takes to have a long-term prognosis. It was never going to be a short-term solution, but they were convinced him playing through, was not going to make that situation any worse. He needs a procedure. It'll be probably 12 weeks. And by the time you get to January, he should be good. By winter warm-up time, we'll, have an idea of what that looks like, I guess.
Unofficial official asking, can you run without a meniscus? Yes, you can. I'm willing to sit here and take all meniscus-related questions.
Yeah, but
for
you're
remainder of this
you're
program.
a marathon guy, but
yeah, I'm just letting you know. I'm letting the people know it's a Friday night. I mean, all I have going on outside of this is playing some NCAA football. So I'm here to take your questions if you have them.
Can you play Major League Gold Glove shortstop without one? I would say probably no.
Played a lot of 12-inch softball with after suffering the torn meniscus at a high level.
I hate you so much. You're like, I'm an athlete too.
Yeah,
it's all.
So when I see Masyn in Jupiter in February, I'll ask him.
You guys will have a little.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah. We will we'll discuss and I'll let him know. I'll give him tips on how to overcome it and be ready to go for the upcoming season.
I'm glad you'll be rowing the boat for the Cardinals shortstop. Good.
Hey, just to let you guys know, with college football tomorrow and pro football on Sunday, as you watch it, just know that Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. And you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code STLSports to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live on December 1st. That's code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offers. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promotions. But if you already live in Illinois, like I do, Brendan, you can sit there and you can bet on games tomorrow using the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And put up, you can tease all kinds of Diego Pavia passing yards tomorrow against South Carolina, like I did. I got plus 200. I thought about going plus 240. I thought about teasing it up to plus 240 tomorrow against South Carolina, but I stuck at 200 and threw it in there with Mizzou covering the point spread, and I took USF money line tomorrow too against Miami. Yeah.
You're going to regret that part of it.
I mean,
by the way,
I put $1 down on it, so I don't know how much. Yeah,
$1
on that.
Don't tell Hannah Barton, but
24 on that.
Don't tell Hannah Barton, but I've got Vanderbilt winning that game tomorrow. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, so that's there you go. DraftKings Sportsbook coming
We
to
have more
December.
meniscus talk. More meniscus
Yeah,
talk in the
yeah.
chat. Hey, can
No,
you
yeah.
tell Bill why is Weatherholt still playing short? That's a relevant question. What's the prognosis on that, Dr. Joe?
I don't think that's a meniscus related question. I just think
No, it's
that's
not.
where they're
I
putting
was
him
just
now. I think if you could play shortstop at the AAA level, I think they're just
yeah.
putting him there just to be like, hey, you're going to play here, and then when you come to the big leagues, well, we're going to put you at third base and get that arm nice and strong. I think
Or put you wherever. Like I
yeah,
think he'll
the
be.
big question, the big question that you'll hear a lot of that you hear a lot of people negative Nancy's they would like to say is that Weatherholt doesn't have the arm to play third. I can tell you the coaching staff down at AAA has absolutely zero issues with his arm and said that they don't understand where that rumor even came from after seeing him play.
Yeah, I think third would make a lot of sense for him, honestly. And I guess maybe part of that is like this idea that you don't want to show your cards too much on the idea that you could move on from every other player who plays third on your big league team and just put Weatherholt there. That's like the path of least resistance, I think. But I guess that's not true when you count how much resistance exists in Arenado's contract. But again, if we're having to sit here and talk about a 2026 Cardinals team where I'm begging them to just spend $4 million to sign a starter or two, that doesn't feel like the type of team that Nolan Arenado should be wrapping up his career with. I think he should be freed to go somewhere that he can contribute to a winner and let the Cardinals do their, retool, whatever you want to label it as, for one more year. And then the Gorman one is interesting. He could play some third, but yeah, Weatherholt, third base seems to be a fine, probable option for him. I don't worry about the fact that he's been still playing short. Like, he's also played some third. He's also played, a little bit of second, but he's played 9 games at third base. He'll be fine when the time comes for wherever he needs to play, just in my opinion.
Your Kansas State, what
I
are
saw
they?
that.
What are they? Are the
Wildcats.
Wildcats? That's right. The Wildcats. They've tied up Arizona in their game this evening.
I was
Brendan.
getting word on that. Yeah,
I don't know if that ruins your night in any
it
capacity.
helps it.
Oh,
It
okay,
helps
good,
it.
good. All right. Brendan and I had talked about doing a Saturday night after college football show together. If you would like that, please comment in the comment section. If you think Friday night after Cardinal games is fun, just imagine that. Imagine what that.
I would
would
have
sound
fun with like a college football thing because we could talk about when there's one team that's not performing well, instead of just having to still talk about the Cardinals, you could just talk about the other teams that are doing something interesting. I don't know.
Exactly. That's going to do it for this show, though, tonight.
You're like, that's all I got. That's it.
Yeah, it's again. Like I said, you got college football to watch. I got college football to go play.
I got one more. I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
Did the Mets lose today?
I did not see. I know the Brewers could clinch.
No, they did.
They
did lose. I was teeing up a question.
Oh.
I knew the answer to it. The Mets lost, so Cardinals are still 4 games back. You never know. You never know. Wait a minute. Has anyone passed the Mets? I think that part could be relevant too. Somebody's about
Reds
to
are 1 game back. Giants are 1 game back. Diamondbacks 3 games back. Cardinals 4 games back on a 4-game losing streak.
So you're saying there's a chance? Imagine if they could win some of these. No, Aaron, not really. You dope. Not really. No, we're having fun. Good grief. That guy's never smiled about one thing.
It would be a lot more. It would be a lot more entertaining for me to sit here and try to fight off and try to pretend like I'm not buying back in if they had won 2 of the last 4 games and they were 2 games back, and I would stubbornly just sit here and go, no, I haven't bought back in. When really internally, I'd be back in.
It wouldn't have taken much.
I would be sitting here putting money on them making the playoffs if they had won 2 of their last 4. But I would sit here on the air and I would 100% tell you that now I'm not bought back in.
If they had won 2 games in Seattle, it would be totally different. But they're not that team this week. I mean, they're not the team that they have needed to be this week to get into that conversation. It was there for the taking. It really was. But there's not much fun right now. Nope. But I can only see maybe in 2035 so many times before I yell at somebody. So I appreciate, though, this is a sensible comment. Yeah, if they would have won a couple games in Seattle, it would have been fun. You know what? It is crazy they're only 4 out.
It's
but they don't have
so crazy.
They don't have the makings of a team that's getting there. Unfortunately, they just
No.
don't. They don't have the pitching. They don't have the consistency on offense. Would you have a guess? I know we were supposed to wrap. Final prediction on their win total. Where will they land? They're at 72. 72 and 76 today.
80 and 82.
I'll go 79 and 83. I think it could be worse than that.
At some point, I know there's 2 weeks left. Aren't they going to make a run? Just like a quick little 3-game, 4-game win streak, and you're going, here they come. No, just don't buy into it. Don't let them mess with you. Don't
do what makes you happy.
Don't let them tease you into thinking this. No.
This is, you know why Joe's so sad? Because tonight his 87 win hopes died.
Didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. They cannot
win it. I told you 12 hours ago. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just not happening. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Once you accept that, just what's the Mizzou? What's the line tomorrow in Mizzou?
27.
Okay.
I went 41-0 for my score prediction.
So they would cover the 27.
Yeah, and they'll shut them out.
All right.
MIZ.
I'm gonna
go Pressure DeWitt. I'm gonna be back a little bit later. I'm gonna go Pressure DeWitt. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. We got Cardinals 365 tomorrow. Mizzou postgame tomorrow. City postgame tomorrow. Cardinals postgame tomorrow. And Illinois postgame tomorrow. All right here on STL Sports Central. Another busy Saturday for you as we wrap up this Friday night. For Brenden Schaeffer, I'm Joe Roderick. This has been Card Central postgame here on STL Sports Central. All content brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours.